Hey everyone, this is Danielle and welcome to my channel Looking to Lose VSG. This week is my week 4 and my week 5 update, as well as my 1 month. I did record last week, but I didn't have time to edit and post it. So I will go ahead and first start with my week 4 update. So I'll insert that video here. Hey everyone, it's Danielle and welcome to my channel Looking to Lose VSG. I am coming to you this week with my week 4 post-op update. Today's my week 4, tomorrow will be my 1 month, so there'll be 2 videos this week. But let's get into my stats. I'm gonna grab my notes. So my highest weight in June 2018 was 267 pounds. My surgery weight the day I had surgery was 242.6. Last week I weighed 227.2, and this week I am 224.4. That's a weekly loss of 2.8 pounds, a loss since surgery of 18.2 pounds, and a total loss since June of 2018 of 242.6 pounds, which is awesome. So that was my week 4 update, and now we'll get into my stats for week 5. So I am 33 years old, 5'7", and my highest weight in June of 2018 was 267 pounds. My weight on day of surgery was 242.6 pounds. Last week my weight was 224.4, and this week my weight is 221.2. So that's a weekly loss of 3.2 pounds, a loss since surgery of 21.4 pounds, and a loss since my high weight of 45.8 pounds. So this week has felt like a great week. I've lost 3.2 pounds. Last week was 2 point some odd pounds, and so I really feel like I'm starting to get into the groove of things. My biggest issue is that what it feels like is about once a week, my stomach just decides that it doesn't want food per se, and I have to stick with my protein shakes or protein 2O, the flavored water type protein, and to get anything into my system. Last week was just a overall feeling of gross and icky, and it was cold, it was nasty outside, and my stomach was not having any of it. This week on Monday I woke up and I was shaky, like not physically, shaking like this, but I felt like my whole inside was shaking. As an asthmatic, it felt kind of like when you take your albuterol and you have just a shake. My mom, when I called her, she thought it might be my B12, but after some research, it looks like I might have been hypoglycemic. Basically, I needed to have more sugar in me or more food calories in me to make me feel better. So I went and got a couple cubes of cheese. For me, cheese has been a savior. It just goes down well, it sits well. My dad has been smoking some different kinds of cheese to get that flavor in there, and it's been really great as a snack or a pick-me-up, or I didn't quite get enough food in during lunch, so it's been great to have that. So today's the 12th of December, and we're about halfway through the year. Not halfway through the year, halfway through the month. 2 weeks to Christmas. We've been celebrating our Advents every weekend, having family over. If some of you have been following, you'll know that my oldest is here from Bahrain on leave from the Navy, so we've been spending a lot of time with him, which has been great. My youngest son has really been enjoying that. He misses his brother and, joking around and playing with him. So, of course, with having family home from out of town, out of country, I've been trying to do all of our great little Christmas traditions, and one of those is that I do a lot of baking during the holidays. So our first Advent, I made a batch of homemade chocolate chip cookies, which I'm assuming were good. I only had one little bite of one just to make sure, that they were done. Food police, please don't. I just, you have to try one. And it's not like I had 12 or 14. I had a half of a bite of one. But other than that, I don't have cravings for them. Then this past weekend, I made chocolate covered peanut butter fudge. This is a very unique recipe. It's actually a recipe from my grandma, who was a potato farmer in Alaska. And the recipe calls for, peanut butter and corn syrup and dehydrated milk, and then mashed potatoes. And not just like mashed potatoes, but mashed potatoes how you make them as if you were serving them for dinner. So with your sour cream, your butter, your milk, your salt and pepper. And you add that to the mix and dip it in chocolate, and it's just divine. It's stupid. Like, there's no reason these should be so good. And what's great about these is that they are peanut butter. And peanut butter is something that I can have, and they're not full of sugar. They're not full of confection sugars. Here in the South, a lot of people make something called Buckeyes, and from what I can gather, it's peanut butter and confection sugar dipped in chocolate. It's just sweet on sweet on sweet on sweet, and I can't even begin to eat those. So mine are just much more simple. I was thinking, and I was kind of brainstorming with my husband, that maybe I could put some PB2 powder in there, or protein powder, some Unguri protein powder, but that's something I'm gonna work with or experiment with later. It wasn't something I wanted to do right now, just because with my family I didn't want to change a recipe that they were looking forward to. So this weekend we'll be going over to my parents' house for Advent and decorating sugar cookies with the kids, my brother's kids and my son, and we'll all be doing sugar cookies and decorating those, and then decorating their Christmas tree with dinner, and then going and looking at Christmas lights. That's kind of our tradition. Every year we get together and we look at lights, and then we kind of internally judge them as if we were the judges of the light show. So one of the really exciting things that happened this week is the other day, my husband and I went and had a lunch date together. And we don't normally go to lunch together because we have different schedules, and I work on one side of town and he works way on the other side of town, so it's really difficult to meet and have lunch. But we were just taking a long lunch and enjoying the day, and we went to one of our favorite Mexican restaurants. And I, a while back, had tried refried beans and cheese and stuff, and it didn't sit well the first time. I don't know if it was too heavy or what it was, but it didn't sit well, so I was still a little nervous about going out to eat. I was 4.5 weeks, post-op, and still on soft foods. So I had what's called grilled Mexican chicken, and it's stupid good. So it's grilled chicken, and it's grilled with, your seasonings, but also with pico de gallo and onions, and then it's tossed in their queso, and it's served with refried beans and Mexican rice. And it was so good. It was so nice to have real food in a real place, something that just made me really happy. And I didn't eat a lot of it. I had, maybe a third of the chicken that I was given, and then a couple bites of the refried beans, and that was it. And then I was able to take the rest home, minus the rice, and have it as my afternoon lunch. Because I have my day laid out, I'm having a breakfast, and then lunch at 11 or 11:30, and then another meal at 3:30, and then dinner when I come home. So I was able to take the meal that I had for lunch and have it again that afternoon, and it was, it was great. It was just something that made me really happy. Another thing I've tried, so last night my husband made a beef pot roast, and it was cooked for 5 hours, covered. It was really, like, the flavor was on point and it was delicious, but it just didn't want to sit in my stomach well. It was one of those foods that went down there and you could feel it sitting in your stomach, and it was uncomfortable. And so maybe another time, maybe, month 5 or 6, I'll try it again. But as it stood, it was just difficult to eat. Excuse me. It's the end of the day, so you're getting the end of the day Danielle. So yeah, on the topic of restaurants, I know a lot of people, I'm on a bariatric forum on Facebook, and a lot of people talk about getting a card, like a little business card that they can carry around and show restaurants, to either be allowed to eat off of the kids menu or to get like a smaller portioned out plate and be charged less for it. I mean, everybody has their opinion on it. Me personally, my opinion is I'm not one to do that. I am not eating off the kids menu. 9 times out of 10, they don't have anything I want to eat, and I have a kid. I fed him that food. It's dry. Even he doesn't want to eat on the kids menu, and he's 10. I would much prefer just paying for the meal as if I was normal, as if I didn't have a tiny little sleeve stomach, because I can take it home and I can have it for dinner the next night, or I can have it for lunch the next day, or I can eat it as a midnight snack. Not really, but you can have it any other time, and it may make more than one meal. It could make 2 more meals, which means that I've paid to go out to dinner and have that great meal 2 or 3 times. So I don't think that's something I'm going to be looking into, but definitely if you guys have one of those cards, tell me if it works, if it's something that you like or don't like, if it's worth it. I'm also looking into getting a emergency medical alert bracelet. I should probably have one because of my asthma, being a severe asthmatic, but I'm also looking into possibly getting one for my gastric sleeve, but I don't know what to put on it. So if you guys know, if you have one, if you send me a photo, or tell me in the comments below what it is that you have on there, that would be great and helpful for me, so that when I go and purchase this, I know what I'm putting on my medical alert bracelet. So as always, this is week 5. We'll come back next week for my week 6 update. We're getting closer to Christmas, and a lot of people have been impatient on the road, so I wish everybody a safe upcoming week, and I hope you get to spend time with the ones you love, and have a wonderful week.